What's up, everybody? You know, I realized about myself that I really like raining on people's parade. You know? And, I don't mean to do it. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be the fucking downer guy. I just like being honest. I'm not much of a bragger. Time for a new coil on this one. I'm not really much for bragging. I mean, unless I'm like around my close friends. And then really half the time it's just, bullshit anyway. Talk about how awesome we are, But I don't know, I was thinking, have you ever seen the type of guy, like, this type of, like, there's different types of truckers, like, you ever seen the type of trucker that, they, and I don't know why I always give them a southern accent, but they're always like, yeah, man, I got me a T680, man, I don't want to drive nothing but a Kenworth, or some shit like that, and it's like, you drive a Kenworth because that's what your fucking company gave you. You could have just fucking as easily gotten a Freightliner. In fact, they may just give you a Freightliner if they're so inclined because you're a company driver. You know what I mean? Or these fucking dudes that, you don't see them very often, but every once in a while you see some guy who he's wearing the cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, and he just looks like a highway cowboy. Like, oh, that guy looks like he's like a fucking outlaw trucker or some shit like that. He looks like Billy Badass about to go rope some fucking steers or something on the high plains. And then you see him walk out to his truck and he's driving a fucking, like, a Volvo, and he's a reefer driver. Not to shit on reefer drivers, but it's like, you motherfuckers don't really need to be wearing boots. I'm just saying, like, a fucking flatbed, I don't even wear boots. I don't wear fucking flip-flops and shit like that, and, basketball pants, but, like, right now I'm wearing fucking, like, khaki work pants, tennis shoes, and t-shirt. That's pretty much what I wear, and I don't put on my boots unless I'm at a fucking place that requires me to put on boots, because, you don't need boots to do this job. I wear fucking DC shoes, tennis shoes, and they work just fine doing this fucking job. You don't need boots. You really don't. But anyways, I just like for people to I just like people to be fucking honest. And I can't stand one-uppers. None of this has anything to do with the actual subject, the topic of this video. Something I was thinking about before I started filming. But anyways, so this is another fun little story time about another load that I ran. So not too long ago, I've been putting this fucking video off. But not too long ago, I ran a load to this place, and when I showed up, it was lightly raining, and I jumped out and I started taking my straps off, and a place I'd never been to before. And there's a forklift driver running around unloading the trucks, and he's unloading a guy in front of me. And so I take all my straps off and put them away, and I'm sitting in my truck waiting for him to come by. And so when he unloads the truck in front of me and that truck, turns around and leaves, I pull forward and jump out my paperwork. Hey, man, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, yeah, man, I've had better days, or whatever. I'm filling in for a guy, and so some shit I couldn't really understand. The guy was kind of mumbly. And usually I'm just like, look, if you're not really saying anything important, I'm not really going to ask you. I'm sorry, what were you saying? I can't understand shit. It was loud and forklifts, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, here you go. He signs my shit, gives it back to me. So he says, I'm not going to load you right here. He's like, I'm going to load you. This is right next to a fucking warehouse. There's like a warehouse and then a couple of bay doors here and then some over here. And then there's like a big grass area, right? And he says, I'm not going to load you here. I'm going to unload you at that first door down there. So I look over and there's a door down at the end of this warehouse. Big bay door. You know, a bunch of coils stacked up outside. So I'm like, all right. So I put in reverse and I back down this driveway. And I'm looking at this door. This is what the guy tells me. This is important because we're going to get into it. We're going to get into this. The guy tells me, I'm not going to unload you here. I want you to pull into that first door down there. Pull into that first door down there. This is what he said verbatim. Pull into that door. And so when someone tells you to pull your truck into a door, what does that mean to you? What would you do? You go to that door and drive your fucking truck into it, right? He didn't say, I need you to back into that door. He didn't even say, I need you to park in front of that door. He said, I need you to pull into it. So I said, okay, no problem. So I back down there, and I back up to where the door, this bay door, is directly to my right. I'm looking at it, I'm like, ain't really a whole lot of room for me to turn, you know, because it's like this skinny driveway, you know, and I would have had a lot more room, but there was like a million fucking coils stacked up. So I'm like, I'm going to have to, you know, I'm going to have to go real wide, probably through the grass to get, you know, because the problem is these coils are stacked up so far that for me to turn to the right around them and for my trailer to clear these fucking things, I've got to go super wide. So I start pulling around, and you know, I'm watching my trailer back there. I'm watching the right side so I don't hit these coils. And you know, so I pull into the grass, and I'm going, and then I'm giving it like I think it was third gear or something, and I'm giving it steady speed, and then the truck just kind of comes to a stop. So the wheels are going, and then it stops, and the wheels are just spinning, and it's like, there I am. I've sunk it, like it's all this grass is so wet and mushy, you know, that it was like driving on fucking Play-Doh, you know. I just sunk right into it. And as soon as the truck came to a stop, I'm like, oh no, fucking don't do this to me. Because what'll happen is when you drive on a real slippery surface, like flatbedders probably know this, but other people won't, is when you have a 10-2 split axle, which is two axles on your or a 10-2 spread axle rather. Two axles on your trailer, two single axles split 10 feet apart, right? Which is your typical flatbed setup. When you go to turn on a slippery surface, or when you go to turn at all on any surface, the trailer rotates on the rear axle, and that front axle fucking drags, right? And it fights you the whole way. And what'll happen is once you reach a certain point with that front axle digging in and it's trying to stop you, you need more traction. So you can get stuck on a completely flat surface on a really muddy drop yard just by turning around. It's happened to me before. I was able to get out of it, but yeah, I picked up some preloaded trailer late at night in the rain, and when I went to turn around and get out of this yard, like I jacked it around, and that trailer, those front tires dug in, and my truck just came to a fucking stop. You know, and I had to wiggle my way out of it. But anyways, you know, the truck comes to a stop, and I angle my mirror down so I could see my drive axles, and I'm like, all right, I've been stuck plenty of times. A lot of the time I can rock the truck out of it. Put in reverse, back up, you know, push in the clutch, roll forward, and you roll forward as far as you can, and then let the clutch back out, and then rock the truck back and forth. You know, you could do it, or you do it in third gear or fourth gear, or whatever the fuck. You know, you can do it forward, but you just basically, you rock up and down until you get enough momentum to where you can get out of these ruts and back out. You know, and I got brand new drive tires too. I've just replaced all 10 tires on my tractor. You know, but it didn't matter. It was just too sloppy. So the truck comes to a stop, and this forklift guy comes out, and he's just kind of looking at me, and I'm like, oh God. And since I couldn't rock the truck out, I'm just like, God damn it. Whatever. Let me get unloaded, and then I'll deal with this issue. You know, I've been stuck before. It's not the end of the world. So I go over to him, and I'm like, I can't remember. I was like, did you? I'm already starting to get pissed. I'm like, you wanted me to pull into the store, right? That's what you said. He said, no, I just wanted you to park out there on the driveway because I'm gonna bring your coils in this door. I'm like, well, whatever, man. I'll have to figure it out. He's like, I hope you're not stuck there. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably stuck there, man. And I got back in my truck. Now, I don't know. You know what? I don't know if it's something I said or what. Just something that had nothing to do with me that got under this guy's fucking skin. I don't know what it is. I don't know. But, you know, he goes and he unloads about half the trailer, right? Because I should have drawn a picture on paper to show it to show you guys exactly what the situation is. But basically, my tractor is in the grass, and then my trailer is at an angle, and so here's the grass area, and my trailer is basically over the concrete. So he rolls up and, you know, takes the first half of the load off, but I'm blocking this whole area. So in order for him to get around me, he has to go inside the warehouse, down to the other end, and come out and then down the driveway, you know, because he can't drive his forklift through the grass and shit like that, right? So he unloads all of the coils that he can get to, because here's the back of my trailer right here, you know, and here's the rest of the load, but there's all these coils stacked up here, so he can't fit his forklift in there, right? So I'm like, whatever. So, you know, he takes that off, and then he leaves and he disappears, and he's just gone for a little while. You know, and this whole time, other trucks are showing up, and they're looking over at my dumb ass stuck in the grass, you know, and he goes down there and starts unloading other trucks. And I'm like, the fuck, man? Finish unloading me. So now that I've got a bunch of weight off the truck, I figured, you know what, let me try to see if I can rock it out now. So I'm rocking it back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it's like I'm going a little bit further every time, but the rut just gets deeper. It's like I'm just getting deeper and deeper, you know what I mean? And at a certain point, your front bumper is just all your hardware, your front bumper is just resting on the ground. You know, so it's getting to the point where I'm thinking I might have to have a wrecker pull me out. You know, I've been down that road before. Difference is, I've been down that road. I've had wreckers pull me out when I was a company driver and I didn't have to pay for it. But now I do. But I figured, well, how much can that be? How much can it be for a heavy-duty wrecker? And they don't even really need the big 4-axle rotator, giant, huge fucking, what are they, 100 tons or 150 ton, you know, heavy-duty wreckers. Like, just bring in some little 2-axle fucking medium-duty truck with a winch on it. That's something that you use for towing school buses and box trucks. You know what I'm saying? I don't need the big giant one. Just, like, fuck, a regular flatbed wrecker, little light-duty wrecker could pull me out with a winch. You know, the truck could get out by itself. It just needed a little bit of help. So I figured, you know, how much could it be? Show up, throw a winch around the rear axle, hit the button, $100, $150, maybe $200. I could live with that. You know, it's what I call an expensive mistake. You know, but it happens. But I'm thinking, fuck. You know, I'm pissed off. I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna have to call a wrecker and see what the deal is. So I call a wrecker company, and no one answers the phone. You know, I'm about 30 miles outside of major city, something like that. So I figured, if I'm this close to a major city, there's got to be plenty of wrecker services. Well, I call one, nobody answers the phone. I call another, they say they don't serve that area. You know, and I'm just like, what the fuck? You know, and then I call another one, and they didn't serve that area. I'm like, what? You know, whatever. I don't know. I guess I was just too far away from the city. I don't know what the fuck the deal was. But anyways, there was a wrecker service, heavy-duty wrecking and recovery service, like a couple miles away, like less than a 5-minute drive from where I was at. So I called them, and I got the guy on the phone. I'm like, hey man, I'm over here at this place. He's like, oh yeah, we know that place. And I said, yeah, I'm just stuck in a little bit of mud, just need someone to throw a winch on me and pull me out. You know, I was like, how long do you think that might take, and you know, how much do you think it might cost? He's like, well, probably take about, you know, 45 minutes or an hour to get there. I'm like, okay, guess you don't have anybody hanging out at the shop, because I ain't no hour away from where you're at. But I'm like, all right, well, how much do you think it will cost? He's like, yeah, hold on a minute. So he comes back to the phone. He says, yeah, that'll be $650. What? Yeah, it'll be $650. Whoa. What the fuck? I'm just like, I gotta call you back, dude. I gotta call you back, you know? And he's like, okay. You know, he gave me some weird tone. I was like, what the fuck was all that about? He put the phone down. I'm like, $650? Like, bro, I don't know if that's what made mega carriers and or like trucking companies are paying you for you to hook a winch to their shit and pull them 15, 20 feet out of mud. But I ain't fucking paying that. I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? You telling me I gotta pay $650 to get out of this? And I'm like, no. I'm like, you know what? I need to get the rest of this shit off my trailer and then get all the weight off the drive wheels and see if I can get out. So this is where the fun starts to happen, right? I get out of my truck. And I walk across this field over to where this forklift driver's at. And there's all these trucks lined up, ready to get unloaded. And he's in the middle of unloading another truck. And so I walk up to him. And this is exactly what I said and exactly how I said it. I said, hey man, and it was really loud because the forklift was loud as shit and all these trucks were idling. I said, hey man, you think you can pull the rest of these coils off for me? I think I can get out if I get all the rest of the weight off. And almost as soon as I finished talking, he said, and he's like, no man, you need to call a wrecker. You gotta call a wrecker, man. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I called one, but I want to see if I could just get it out. But I need to get all the rest of the load off, you know. And like something snaps in this guy's fucking head. You know what I mean? He's like, I can't remember exactly everything he said, but he's like, no man, you need to just call a wrecker, okay, and just do that. I'm like, and see. Immediately, like, I'm not a confrontational fucking person. I am not. Okay? You know, you may get the intention from my videos, from my demeanor, that, like, I'm a fucking asshole who loves to fucking argue with people. That's not really it. You know, I talk to you as if I would talk to you guys, like, talk to my friends. But when I'm dealing with just regular fucking Joes walking around, people I don't really know that I'm never really going to see again, you know, and I have no reason to be a dick to them. You know, I'm generally polite. You know, but, like, this, like, in any other situation, I just would have been like, all right, man, okay. But the fact that, if it's like, you won't unload the coil. You won't unload the rest of my trailer until I get pulled out. Which I think I can get out on my own if you'll unload me. I just want to try. So I'm not spending $650 out of my own pocket if I don't have to. If I don't fucking need to. I'm trying to run a business here. You know, how fucking rich do you think we are? As truck drivers, man. Are you gonna pay the fucking tow truck when he shows up? You got a fucking cousin who'll do it for $50 or something? Like, what the fuck, dude? But just, it was the amount of money that was at stake here, coupled with the fact that this guy had zero fucking reason to be talking to me the way he did. Zero fucking reason. And it's not just how he was talking to me, it's what he was saying. It's like he didn't want to hear anything I had to fucking say. Didn't want to deal with me. You know, I'm like, what the fuck? Did you get in trouble? Did someone bitch you out because I got my truck stuck? Like, this is my fuck up. You know? Just do your fucking job. Unload my truck and help me out here, right? So, I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is, man. This is where I kind of start to turn back from polite and start to head the other direction, right? And I'm like, I don't understand what the problem is, man. I just want to see if I can get the truck out, but I need the rest of the weight off. He's like, what did this guy say? He's like, you need to go over there and sit in your truck, and you need to. This is what he started saying. He said, I'm not going over there and getting this forklift stuck. You know, you need to call a wrecker. And I'm like, what are you talking about? How would you get your forklift stuck? I'm like, this is what I said to this guy. What are you talking about? You don't even need to go through the grass. And at this point, from this point forward, everything I say, he's fucking talking over me. And it's so loud that I'm fucking yelling at him, and he's yelling back at me. And it's like, I'm like, no. I was talking to my buddy about this the other day. I am not going to fucking stand there when I have a problem that you could easily solve. I'm not going to stand there and let you be illogical. Okay? Like, I'm not doing this whole, like, oh, I'm just a fucking idiot. I don't, you need to call a wrecker. I don't, no. What you're fucking telling me doesn't make any sense. What you're saying makes no sense. You're going to get your forklift stuck? Where? Fucking go to follow this fucking driveway, this concrete, smooth driveway over to where my trailer is and pull the rest of the fucking load off. So I can see if I can get out of this and not have to spend fucking $650. I didn't say that. I didn't cuss at the guy at all. You know? Because then, like, you start cussing at somebody, like, you know, when you're in an argument with them, they don't even they completely close their fucking ears. But I'm like, look, man, I don't know why you're being like this. I'm like, do you want to fucking walk down there with me? Or I didn't say fucking, but I said, do you want to walk down there with me? And, like, we can look? Like, I will show you that you can remove the load from my trailer without getting the forklift stuck. And he's like, I'll let you sit over there for the rest of the day, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know, he's like, you go over there and I'm going to unload these trucks. I'm like, you know what, do whatever you want, man. I'm like, you know what, you do you and I'll do me, all right? Do whatever you want, all right? And I start walking off and there's just like these truckers standing around. And some guy's like, why'd you pull through the grass anyway? I'm like, because I was doing what the fuck I thought he said. You know, I'm like, I don't understand a fucking word this guy's saying. And he's saying some shit. I can't remember what he was saying. But I'm just like, I'm so fucking angry. I'm like, why? You're like I've had fucking bitchy girlfriends that weren't as bad as this motherfucker. Jesus Christ, at least I could talk some fucking sense into them. This guy's acting like he's on his fucking period or something. Just some fucking GED having motherfucker, just like, no, it's like, you know, for whatever reason that I can't explain and don't care to explain to you, like, I'm not gonna fucking help you. Damn, I'm running out of fucking memory. I'm gonna have to make a part 2 to this video. You know what? Stay tuned for part 2 of this video. I gotta make more memory. But the rest of this story will be in the part 2, so watch that.